and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. It's my privilege to welcome you all to this seminar organized by Batra and Company, with which I am associated for the last 17 years. It's a matter of great pride that Mr. Batra and Company have been organizing a seminar after the presentation of each budget. This year, as you know, there was first an interim budget which was presented in February, and thereafter now we have the regular, or I should say more comprehensive budget which has been presented in Parliament on 5th July 2019. The presentation of this regular budget on 5th July is a special occasion because this BJP government led by our Prime Minister Honorable Mr. Narendra Modi has been voted back with a thumping majority, and this majority is bigger than what it was in Modi 1 regime during the years 14 to 19. The expectations are much higher than those in Modi 1 regime. The present budget is charged with hope and desire for a bright and economically sound new India. There is a conviction and confidence that the present Modi 2 regime is better placed and going to be effective in implementing the India vision. You may be aware, before the presentation of the budget, economic survey of India was also presented in the Parliament by our Minister of Finance, Srimati Sitaraman, and Nirmala Sitaraman, and she has not dealt with many of the issues in the budget. But frankly speaking, I must confess that the statistics which we see in the economic survey do indicate slowdown in the economy, slight decline in the GDP growth. GDP growth for the financial year 19 is around 6.8%, which is less than what it was in the immediately preceding 3-4 years. And also slight decline in corporate earnings. Fiscal deficit is to the tune of about 3.3%, which is slightly on the higher side. And if you see the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, it provides that the fiscal deficit should not be more than 3%. But the difference, I hope, will be met, or rather will be in a better position now that a stable government has come in position, and the conviction that we have today, the optimism that we have, is that there will be a better investment environment in the country and leading to the consequential economic growth. As you know, our foreign exchange reserves are to the tune of about $400 billion US, and there is a strong sentiment predicting definite growth year after year. Already, overseas investors are looking for opportunities in India with stable government and flow of foreign money to the country. One important aspect which I must highlight is the global trade wars which are going on. In particular, I may refer to the US-China trade war, which is seen as a very positive sign so far as the growth of economy in India is concerned. Already, a large number of American companies, they are exploring shift in manufacturing operations from China and other countries to India. And if you see the Economic Times of 4th July, they have indicated that negotiations are going on with as many as 250 companies. Now, if we see the trend, we can say that after the meeting of the US President Donald Trump with our Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the present political atmosphere, the stability in the government, the democratic structure that we have, and the economic policies which we have highlighted in the budget 2019, they are make India perhaps one of the biggest beneficiaries of the ongoing global trade wars. The budget 1920 has very strong fundamentals, has provided for clear-cut policies, directions and measures for attracting foreign investment and economic growth. You are aware, Indian economy was approximately US $1.85 trillion when the Modi I government was formed in the year 2014. Today, it has reached US $2.7 trillion, and it is expected that to reach or to touch US $3 trillion by the end of the fiscal year. As indicated by our Honorable Finance Minister in the budget, it is likely to reach US $5 trillion. I mean, at least that is our hope and expectation in the next 3-4 years. For achieving this target, the budget speech has referred not only to the interim budget, but also the proposals in the full-fledged budget presented on 5th July. And some of the points which I would like to highlight are: 1, building physical and social infrastructure, digital India reaching every sector of the economy. 3, pollution-free India with green Mother Earth and blue skies. Make in India with particular emphasis on MSMEs, startups, defense manufacturing, automobiles, electronics, batteries, medical devices. Then number 5, water management and clean rivers. 6, blue economy. 7, space programs like Gaganyaan, Chandrayaan and satellite programs. Then self-sufficiency and export of food grains, pulses, oil seeds, fruits and vegetables. Healthy society, our Ayushman Bharat scheme, well-nourished women and children, safety of citizens, and then the Team India, Bhagedari, the Jan Bhagedari, as our Prime Minister has said, and last but not the least is the minimum government and maximum governance. With the aforesaid vision, the Honorable Minister of Finance has introduced specific proposals in the budget. I shall not be dealing with the same because my colleagues on the dais, I am sure in the following sessions, they will deal with the same. As regards foreign direct investment inflows, India has remained robust despite decline in the last 2-3 years. And having regard to the same, I can say that India is going to be a very attractive destination so far as foreign direct investment is concerned. What is proposed in the budget? Only a few items which I can mention. Opening of FDI in aviation, media, insurance sectors in consultation with stakeholders. Then 100% FDI is permitted for insurance intermediaries, and local sourcing norms are going to be eased for FDI in single brand retail sector. Now these are some of the points which are worth mentioning. The government has already announced its intention of investing as much as 100 lakh crores in infrastructure over the next 5 years. That is a huge amount. And it is proposed to set up an expert committee which will take into consideration the current situation, and they are going to propose how the funds are going to be arranged. Of course, you may be knowing that the sovereign debt GDP ratio of India is very low, and there is a lot of scope for borrowings in international market. So whether the country opts that or it tries to raise funds from the domestic market is something which is still under consideration. But we have very good options, and I am sure the target of investing 100 lakh crores in infrastructure is something which is easily achievable. The direct tax revenues have increased by over 78% from 6.2 lakh crores in the financial year 13-14 to around 11.37 crores in the financial year 18-19. And these are likely to grow at double-digit rate in the coming years. So India's ease of doing business ranking under the category of pay taxes has shown significant jump from 172 in 2017 to 121 in 2019. Now the budget 1920 also proposes to implement a series of measures for easing the doing of business, like pre-filling of income tax returns, digital payments, online processing of requests for lower deduction of tax or no deduction of tax at source, etc. Now the resolution of pending litigation is also an important aspect which has been highlighted in this budget. As you may be aware, a lot of pre-GST regime litigations are pending which are taking time. So they have carved out a scheme that is called a Legacy Dispute Resolution Scheme for quick closure or settlement of the pre-GST regime disputes once for all. So that's a great occasion for those who are having pending litigation with the department. The scheme is yet to be fully explained, so we are waiting for that. Now, the budget provides for capital infusion in public sector, banks to boost credit, and they have already provided for about 74,000 crores. Besides that, there is a proposal to give boost to electric vehicles, affordable housing up to 45 lakhs value, then measures to deepen bond markets, relief for startups, and strategic disinvestment in public sector enterprises, direct tax incentives for International Fiscal Services Center. These are some of the areas which have been highlighted, and I am sure these are going to be of great help in the economic growth of the country. To sum up, the budget 2019-20 has struck all the right cards by addressing the pain points in the economy. It addresses the basic structural issues and objectives to pave the way for the next 5 years to build a stronger Indian economy. The government is determined to take India to the height that it richly deserves. I strongly believe, and with my experience in the budget division of the country for almost 5 years, I can say that under the leadership of the present Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, India shall achieve the set goals. With these words, I would leave it to my colleagues to deal with the specific proposals. Thank you.